Come on in. It's time for the Bridging Insider. And this week, our guest is Will. And Will is a special guest because he's a student at the University of Illinois, and he's our marketing intern for us. And it's the first time we've gotten to meet in person, so it's actually really fun. And how do you hope that we can help you?
Well, I have some problems with my shoulders. I play hockey down at school, and when I was in high school, when I was about 16, I had a torn labrum. So I had microscopic surgery done to that to my left shoulder. And I don't know, post-surgery, I to this day will still tweak it, especially when I'm in very vulnerable positions with my arms. So I wonder if anything's going on with that.
Okay. Does it give you any pain, or just
yeah,
you just have to be careful?
It feels like a really bad Charlie horse, if I could describe it like, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm Cara Lindell, the founder of the Bridging Institute and the Bridging Technique. And this is where we take you inside to show you how we use our physics-based solution to solve function and movement issues so that you can stay more active. So we're going to start with some assessing and see what we find and put you back together in a better way. So first I'm going to have you take a step forward, and then we're just going to see how centered you move, just standing up and then sitting down. So I'm just going to go a little bit this way, a little bit that way. And so far, pretty good. Boy, in hockey, everybody gets a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Running into boards and running into other players. Excellent. So far, so good. All right, sit down. If all you had for all the years you played hockey is a shoulder injury, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's the major one.
Okay, so because of the shoulder injury, I just want to check something while you're sitting down. I'm just going to lift. So it's almost like your wings. I want to see how easy. Don't help. Yeah, they're really different. So this one is just, it's not super light and easy to move, but it's without effort. This one, when I lift, this is where it wants to stop. So did you have a sling or cast after the surgery?
I had a sling.
Okay.
Yeah, so
and it was probably about like here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of your muscles all got stuck working like that for a while, and it's hard for them to figure out how to move past. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So that's a thing that we're going to check when we are done. Let's have you lay down. And we're going to check just overall, make sure that nothing else is an issue. So we're going to see how legs, if they lift easily. Oh my gosh, they do. So the first big athlete we've had on the show.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. And the way they connect with the core is good. We're going to see how core moves. Nice. All right, another thing with shoulders. Okay, we just want to see how it wiggles. And it doesn't want to wiggle. That's it. So we want to get some wiggle put back into that one. This one, not super wiggly either. So both of them have some opportunity. And let's see about shoulders from the back. Okay, that part is pretty good. And let's just see how your head's moving while you're here. Oh, it doesn't want to go backwards. I wonder what's up with that. Although it could be the shoulders are kind of tying things down. So we'll see. And I want you to bring your knees up. Give them a big hug. I'm going to see how you rock from side to side. A little bit more to the left than the right, but actually it's not too different from each other. So put them down. That's pretty nice. And I'm going to roll you toward me. We're going to see how no helping. Okay, so it's not too bad. We're going to take this left side a little differently because I do not want to stress your shoulder. I'm just going to hold your shoulder and not your arm. So we're going to hold knee. And wow, that side just doesn't want to move. So yes, everything is pointing to the left side could use a little help remembering how to work together. Flip on your stomach and let's just check a couple more things. And so the right shoulder moves no problem at all. The left shoulder, boy, it is feeling left out. And let's see how you're moving down here. Pretty nice. And just how easy that running? So are you a runner also, or not really?
More of a biker.
Biker. Okay. Well, interestingly enough, left is a little bit harder to move and doesn't want to turn as easily. So how did you get, actually, you know what, sit up. How did you get injured in the first place?
It was a lot of wear and tear throughout the years, but a big part of it was, I hold a stick like this, and I was up against the boards and got hit from behind, and my shoulder would pop out.
Oh, so it got popped forward.
Yeah, so it would pop out like that, and I would put it back into place and keep playing, and I did that for about 2 years before, it got really bad where it would just pop out in school.
So it wasn't one real big injury. Yeah. It was just okay. Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to have you just still, I'm going to let you sit, and we're going to prop it up and maybe lean forward a little bit. And then we're going to just support the front and the back and see if we can get all the muscles in the whole part of your core and your arm to remember how to work together.
All right.
So let's lean into that a little bit. And if that's too much on your head, let me know. And I'm going to come around on this side. I'm going to put this one on the front and this on the back. And we're just going to support and let these muscles relax. And when they relax, then they're more available to be reorganized. And nothing should feel bad. In fact, it should feel actually kind of good. And what I'm hoping is that your shoulder kind of drops forward. And here we go. So I think your core, I think we have to twist a little bit. Yep. This, I'm going to prop this up on the end. So you can, I don't know if you want to lean into it. There you go. I think from everything you described, there's more of a twist through the core that's a part of this. So we're going to push forward. Well, really, it's not just his arm that got injured. It's core and arm and there. So the core part just unwound. And when the muscles put themselves back together, match up, then they relax and open up the movement. There. And sometimes just a little wiggle helps all the muscles. If they're a little disjointed and disorganized, we just have to match them up. There we go. Okay, so next step, there's a little more movement here. Let me have this. We're going to prop your arm up on that. There. And actually, I think I want your hand in, like you had with the sling. Is that about?
Yeah.
Okay.
About right.
So we've got some arm and shoulder. Before we were just working with the shoulder and the core. Now we're moving into the arm and getting that to work a little more tightly with the shoulder. The core needs to help the arm, and the arm needs to work with the core. It's a two-way street. So are you still playing hockey?
Yep. Well, this will be my last year. I'm going to be a senior. So.
Great. There. So while we're working, I'll go through a couple of the questions that people have so that you'll know later today or tomorrow. So you had surgery and there was an injury, and we're helping this get back to normal. So muscles are starting to work in ways they haven't for a while. So how many years? 5, 6 years?
Yeah, I'm 21 now. I had it when I was 16.
Okay, so they haven't worked together in the way that they should in a while. They may be a little achy because even though it's how they're supposed to work, they're not used to it. And okay, we're going to shift and get your elbow into the picture. Because even though your shoulder was messed up, by it having been so stiff, you've actually been overcompensating from your elbow and your wrist. There we go. Almost like we had to screw things back together. Luckily, they left all the parts intact. And you said when you sleep is when it hurts. Is it when it's up like this?
Yeah, when it's like up and out.
Okay, if I am approaching anywhere that you're a little nervous about, just tell me to stop right there. So just getting your elbow, shoulder, core to work together really fluently and smoothly. And go through all sorts of different transitions that they need to go through. A lot of shoulder muscles. Shoulders are the number one most injured part of the body because there are so many little muscles. The legs have bigger muscles. They don't get injured as easily. Okay, now your core is working up and down. So the muscles from this part of your core and up through here actually need to be able to transition up and down. I want you to lift all the way up. Does that feel more easy, more open?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing we always have to do is catch up the other side. It's been compensating, so let's do a quick check-in on this one, and then we are going to recheck what we started with. So with hockey, I bet you this one got banged around a little bit here and there too.
Definitely, yeah. I think the only reason I didn't get work done on the right one was because the left one was so much worse.
It's funny, I'm trying to get the shoulder muscles to work together better, and your core keeps changing. So that means your shoulders, whatever was compensating there, actually was locking up your core. And we're going to hope that it was what was holding your head a little tight too. Here. Okay, and let's just freshen up how elbow, wrist, and shoulder are working together. And so another question that people will ask is, what do I do? What do I not do? And I'm not sure what kind of working out you're doing these days, but I think if you have an arm day coming up, why don't you push it out a couple of days? And maybe drop down on weight a little bit and rebuild, because all the muscles on the shoulder and a little bit on this one are going to be able to work differently. But what I find is people will PR within a week or two. So if you're trying to lift, actually taking a step back, letting everything rest and recover, that you'll actually be able to add weight and do more than what you're doing now. There.
That's something I like to hear.
Okay, so I want you to lift both of them up. Tell me if they feel as flexible as each other.
Yeah.
Okay, do they feel like they weigh the same?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, excellent. Lay back down. Let's recheck some of what we started with. Okay, so let's see if this one wiggles. Ready? Well, I can move it to start with.
Yeah.
And it's not wiggly wiggly, but at least it's moving. Let's see if we can get it to free up just a little bit more. And funny, your elbow is really holding a lot of tension. I think it was probably mad because your shoulder was messing it up. There we go. All right, let's check this one because this one wasn't so fabulous. There we go. Okay, let's see both of them. Your shoulders are moving better.
Yeah.
Let's check it by doing this way. Yes. Okay, and let's see if your head tips backwards. It does. And it moves easier every which way, so that's nice. It was okay before, but going back to school, we want you in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
Let's see how you're turning. Oh, so much easier. And you didn't want to help me this time. So a lot of times when people are really eager to help, it's that they're anticipating and the body actually isn't working together quite so well. And I am going to use your arm. We're going to go slowly, but it works. And that doesn't stress your shoulder. No. Okay. Let's check with you on your back or on your stomach. Okay. That's easier to lift. This one was a little harder. It seems more equal. And that is easier to move. Let's see how your turns are. Much better. So all that opening in your core that was related to the shoulder, very good. And the best part is, does your shoulder move? So that one is easier than before. And this one actually moves. How about it? Actually moves really nicely. And they're very even with how they're integrating with your core. So all the back muscles are helping out appropriately with your arms. So come on and sit up. And we're going to see how you're moving side to side. Very nice. Turning. Make sure your head matches up. Excellent. And then stand up. So for all of my athletes, I want actually really fluent, easy movement. So we've got, oh my gosh, that's so much easier than before. And side to side. Hold on. I think you go a little bit more easily to the left. To let your wind up figure itself out. There we go. Yay. And forward and back. Excellent. Okay. So for those of you at home, what we found was that the shoulder injury really was a big deal, but how he kept getting injured repetitively with forward was a part of it because his core was all turned. And just getting shoulders and core to work together, let the core relax, which let your head open up and your legs kind of relax a little bit. And then just going back through the arm, the elbow, the wrist, and getting all those muscles to remember how to work together. And they're all just nice and fluent and easy. And should be a great time playing hockey this fall. So, and hopefully you just won't be so guarded with that arm. Some of what we do looks pretty simple, but how we get there, the problem-solving process and what each of the movements represents, there's a lot more to it. And if you are interested in knowing more, take a look in the notes. You can apply to be part of our class and learn bridging. Stay tuned for another interesting episode where we solve a movement or pain problem and give you an insight on how the structure of the body actually supports how we function. Give us a like and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.